Late at night, the silence inside Kundanpur's government hospital was unsettling. Nurse Sudha was alone on night duty, sipping her tea when she suddenly heard a woman crying. But there were no patients tonight. Sudha froze. "Where is that crying coming from?" she whispered to herself. Room number 9 had always been locked. No one ever entered. Still, the sound was coming from there, soft, heartbreaking, eerie. Sudha's brain said it was impossible, but her heart, it knew something was terribly wrong. She hesitantly walked toward room number 9. As she peered inside through the small glass window in the door, nothing. The room was empty. And then, the crying suddenly stopped. Confused, Sudha turned around to walk away when, thud-thud-thud. The door of room number 9 began shaking violently. Something inside was banging on it from within. She gasped, horrified. "Who's there? Who are you?" she shouted. The banging got louder. Then, a woman's blood-curdling screams echoed through the hallway. It was not just crying anymore. It was screaming in agony. Terrified, Sudha ran to Dr. Raghav's cabin. But just before she reached it, she stopped. Outside his cabin stood a woman, tall, covered in a black cloak, staring straight at her. "Who are you? What do you want?" Sudha asked, trembling. The woman pulled back her hood. Her face wasn't a face. It was an ash-like shadow, a smoky blur, twisted and terrifying. Sudha screamed in horror and collapsed. The figure vanished into thin air. Dr. Raghav came running. "Sudha! What happened? Why are you on the floor?" Sudha, shaking, tried to explain. "There was someone here, a woman. Her face turned to ash and disappeared." Raghav helped her up. "Sudha, calm down. There's no one here. You know this village. People don't come to hospitals. We've been alone here for 10 days. Maybe you imagined it." "No, doctor. I heard a woman crying. I went to room number 9 and something was banging from inside." "Sudha, it's probably the jungle. Might have been some wild animal. You're overworked. Take rest." As Sudha walked back to her room, she heard footsteps behind her. She turned. No one. Then a sudden gust of wind blew black ashes into her mouth. Her pupils turned pitch black for a few seconds. Then, normal again. She stood still, expressionless, and walked silently into her room. The next morning, a tribal family rushed into the hospital carrying their unconscious 14-year-old son, Dinesh. "Doctor, please help. His body turned blue. He won't wake up." Dr. Raghav and Dr. Srishti examined him. No sign of injury, no bite, no poison, but the boy wasn't responding. "Let's keep him under observation. If nothing improves by morning, we'll refer him to the city," Raghav suggested. Night fell. Around midnight, Dinesh, still unconscious, suddenly sat upright like a corpse rising from its grave. Srishti gasped. "Dinesh? You're awake? Let me check." She moved closer with her stethoscope. Suddenly, Dinesh pushed her violently across the room. "What the hell, Dinesh? Stop!" Then she looked into his eyes. Pitch black. His face was expressionless, lifeless. The flickering tube light above began to buzz. A pungent stench of rot spread through the room. Srishti screamed for help as Dinesh approached her, arms outstretched, trying to grab her throat. But just then, Sudha entered. But this wasn't the same Sudha. Her movements, inhuman. Sudha leapt at Dinesh like a wild animal, smashing his head into the wall. Blood gushed out. But Sudha didn't stop. She dropped to all fours and began licking the blood off the floor like a beast. Srishti watched in frozen horror. Sudha growled, grabbed Dinesh's arm, and ripped it from his shoulder. Then, blackout. Srishti fainted. When she awoke, Raghav was beside her. "Srishti, what happened? Where's Sudha? How did the boy die?" Srishti, in tears, told him everything. Raghav was stunned. But this wasn't just about one boy or one nurse. Something far darker was unfolding. He remembered the words of the village elder he met when he arrived. "That's not a hospital. It's a house of the dead." But he had ignored the warning. Raghav, heir to a wealthy business empire, had chosen to dedicate his life to serving remote villages. Even when Srishti begged him to join a top hospital and stay in the city, he refused. He felt drawn to this place, haunted by dreams he'd seen since childhood, visions of this very hospital, of a life once lived here, of unfinished business. He didn't know why, but now things were getting worse.
What do we tell the villagers?
Sudha killed their child, Srishti cried. Raghav thought hard. If they find out, they'll kill us. Let's tell them he died of a contagious infection. We'll seal the body, warn them not to touch it, and say it's for their safety. The villagers believed the doctors. They performed Dinesh's last rites without opening the sealed coffin. But inside the hospital, questions remained. Where had Sudha gone? What had possessed her? What's the secret of room number 9? Why does this hospital feel alive? Something ancient, evil, is hiding in Kundanpur's old hospital. And Sudha isn't herself anymore. But the real question is she the only one? To find out what happens next, don't miss part 2 of The Cursed Hospital of Kundanpur. Subscribe to Redlife Stories. New horror stories daily. Stay alert, stay safe.